I remember years ago when I first got my first real job, I wrote my dad and I said, I feel like the starting gun's gone off and I didn't hear it. And everybody's racing around. And I still haven't figured out where I'm going. I don't really remember his response, but it was very comforting. But I thought of that when I read this psalm, Psalm 39. So good morning. This is Aunt Beth. Welcome to my lamppost. So this Sunday, which when this releases, Hanukkah begins, December 14th. We're in Psalm 39, and this verse 7. And now, Lord, what do I wait for? My hope is in you. And I thought, really? Is my hope in him? Or is it in my checkbook, my bank account, my brains? I had a girlfriend that could talk herself out of almost anything. So her hope, her faith was in her mouth. The government. Is my hope in him? And what does that mean? When I read this definition of hope in the Strong's Concordance, and it commented that God is the author of hope, not the subject in that particular sense. I thought, wow, that's interesting. I'm looking for him to come through, but maybe I'm asking the wrong question, to plant in me a sense of hope so that I quit sitting around on my butt waiting for something to happen. It's a very passive view of life, don't you think? Sitting versus waiting. And we talked about that in Psalm 37, that there's a couple definitions of waiting, but it doesn't mean sitting on your butt. It's more of a sense of getting ready to roll whenever the starting gun goes off. And I think sometimes the ordinariness of life sort of distracts me. You know, life is not always like a Mission Impossible movie when you're going from one exciting thing to another. I don't think your body could live with that kind of adrenaline rush. But somehow we think life should be all exciting, or I did. But how do you actively wait? When I was thinking about talking to you all and praying for you all this morning, I was thinking about when I first got out of college in the mid 70s, the recession had hit and couldn't find a job in my major. So, see, I told you I'm old. So I worked 3 jobs and shared an apartment with some girlfriends because my mom had told us all from the moment we hit high school, I love you. After you're done with college, you have 6 months to get out. Okay. But couldn't find a job. And so I worked 3 and did move out. But during that time, I thought, when I get my real job, what am I going to need? So I saved my money and I bought dishes and pots and pans and the things that you need to live on your own. That's waiting. That's not sitting. So I felt a little bit better about myself that I hadn't been a total poop. But I think the thing is, what am I hoping for? What am I hoping in? And how can I actively prepare when the answer arrives or when the door opens that God wants me to step through? It's kind of like I'm not going to wait to get ready to go out to dinner with friends until they show up at the door. I'm going to be actively waiting for them by getting ready to go. There's that anticipation of hope. And I think sometimes that's what puts the sparkle in your eye. Do I have hope? Hope in who or in what? Because I know God will always come through. So, those are my thoughts on Psalm 39. That's the verse that stuck out for me. Am I sitting or waiting? And what am I hoping in? So, and as always, I'll put the entire psalm from the New King James Version, which is the one I'm currently using. And where you click on the word more, I'll put that below for you. And I hope this blesses you. I'm praying for you that we would be actively waiting and hoping in the Lord. Not our brains, not our checkbook, not the government, but the Lord, because He will never fail. Talk to you soon.